Hey Internet, Eric here. If you saw my Alien Romulus video, first off, thank you for that. It's taken off for a while. I said how much I enjoyed that film. I'm gonna get back into the Alien franchise and discuss the movies in that franchise that I haven't seen. There's really only two, but today I'm going to discuss, I guess you'd say, an alternate version of a film. One of the ones I really enjoy. So I've already discussed the theatrical version. You can check out the playlist. Today I'm going to discuss, and Marty from Trash Picture Show will be happy because he's been bugging me about this for years, the assembly cut to Alien 3. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, plot points, specific scenes, all that jazz that I say in every single video. And as I've mentioned, I've already discussed Alien 3. So if you want to know my thoughts, spoilers, I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite entries. I'll go ahead and check out that one. This one, kind of like what I've done with the alternate cuts to Rocky 4 and 5 and the producer's cut of Halloween 6. I'm just going to kind of talk about the differences I noticed and then maybe, I guess, make a decision on which one I prefer. Uh, this one here, it runs a half hour longer than the original theatrical version. And first off, it's in this, like I said, this Alien anthology. And what's disappointing is, if you know the backstory, David Fincher disowns this movie because of all the interference from the studios. He's the only director that doesn't do an introduction to this film, so he just totally hates it. But, all right, let's get to it. First off, I really like the new beginning we get. In the theatrical version, we just get, the quick cuts of Ripley's ship, her, like the Sulaco, and then, her little EEV disengages, falls into the water in the prison planet, and then we just pretty much see her on the operating table. I really like this one because first off, we get to see instead of the cryotube of Ripley's crack, we see Newt's. So that's really interesting. And what I like is we do see pretty much the same thing of everything else. The EEV comes out, crash lands on the prison planet, and then we see Clemens. Clemens, Charles Dance, he's walking on the beach, I guess you would say. And we get to see the outside of the planet. It's fucking filthy and nasty and disgusting. And he's walking on the beach, and he stumbles across Ripley's body. Her body has washed ashore because we see her escape pod or whatever you would call it, the EEV, it crash lands in the water. She's washed ashore, and she's fucking covered in lice. She looks disgusting. And again, that talks about, because earlier there's just a drop line, or later there's just a drop line about, hey, you got to shave your head and your private parts and all this because we have a lice infestation. This shows right here how just nasty it is. So we have more of that. He picks her up, he carries her from point A to point B inside. And it's just really cool. It's a really cool beginning where we show, first off, that he's the one that rescued her. So that's kind of why he has a little bit of an attachment to her. I mean, it's not just the sexual stuff. Um, I really like that. And then I guess you would say the investigation squad scene is a little bit different. When they're finding the bodies, we have it's shot differently. We get close-ups or better looks at the bodies of Newt and Hicks and the destroyed bishop instead of just the little images and then the text typed and stuff like that. So that's really neat. We get more of Charles S. Dutton of Dylan. And he's the best character in the whole fucking movie. I've said that before. And it's not just random lines. We get to see him interact more with the crew, talking about them, trying to motivate them, asking them about their spirituality, stuff like that. And it's just little, I don't want to say little piddly scenes here and there, but just little stuff sprinkled out. So it helps more with his character. And if you liked him in the theatrical version, you get a little bit more here. And that makes it even better. What else did I notice? Okay. The birthing scene. Now, when Ripley is rescued and her EEV is pulled on shore, we get to see an overhead shot of that, which is cool. And it is being pulled on shore by a group of oxen. And there's a couple scenes with an oxen that has died. A couple prisoners are bringing it into I don't know if you call it the infirmary, but it brings him to a part of the planet. And they're talking about how it just basically dropped dead. I like how they name it Babe, and it's covered in maggots, and they're just bullshitting. And then they talk about, how, what do you think of the chick that we just found? Oh, I do things to her, blah blah blah, that type of stuff. And one of the one guys leaves, and the other guy lifts up a face hugger off the ground. So that is cool. But then you have the birthing scene, which is, it's different in the movie, or it's different in the theatrical, because in the theatrical version it gets birthed out of a dog, Spike. And I think I prefer Spike, the dog. Not because it's a dog over an oxen. First off, is because we see Spike in the beginning. He's part of the rescue crew. It's a major, major problem with this assembly cut. Even Marty pointed out to me after I had noticed. The action scene is pretty cool. It's still cut in between the funeral scene of Newt and Hicks. Gore's pretty much the same. You see the blood and the goo like gush on the floor. When the alien comes out, it looks cool, but when we have that, now granted it's the assembly cut, so not everything's finished, but I gotta judge it on its finished product. The alien itself, the way it just kind of scampers away, and you hear it kind of, it makes kind of a little chitter noise. Not a fan of that. And the problem is when we deal with the one guy who's cleaning the tunnel, and who falls into the fan. You have that scene where he's looking in the hole of the wall, and he thinks it's his dog. He said, "Spike, is that you?" Blah blah blah. It would work if we saw Spike to begin with, but if this is your first time seeing anything Alien 3, you're wondering who the fuck is he talking about? Is he talking to a dog? Is he talking to another inmate? Is he talking to a midget? Stuff like that. Who's in the wall? Who's Spike? So I think I prefer the dog scene because it's sadly it's more brutal, because this animal is alive, and I hate to say it that we see it suffer, but it adds to how brutal this movie is, and all bets are off. But it was cool to see the oxen scene. There is a scene where there's an added scene where Ripley and 85 are talking to Weyland Yutani on the computer. They're typing in, "Hey, we found this. This is the situation. Blah blah blah. Do you give us permission to terminate it?" And 85 is always saying they never respond to us. It's always just some bullshit generic answer. They finally respond to 85, and they're saying no, termination denied. So that is a really good added scene. I really like that because, again, it's back on the old, hey, the company wants this creature. Do not destroy it type of thing. We need this. So I loved that. A big change is Prisoner Golic. If you don't remember who Golic is the survivor of the 3 prisoners that were killed in the tunnels, the ones that were lighting the candles. We get a little bit more of Golic and them in the beginning, before they're lighting the candles. And the alien attacks. Golic survives. He's taken to the infirmary. They think he's crazy. Black Guy survives. No, the Black Guy survived before, I think. I'm not sure. Anyways, next time we see Golic, he's eating in the mess hall, still covered in dried blood. That's creepy. That tells you he's insane now. I love the addition of that. A little bit more talk of Golic, when Clemens and Ripley, they've just got done having sex, they're learning their backstories and stuff. And then, what is his name? The fucker I like. The one who says, "We ain't got no fucking ice cream." That guy. I can't remember. He's to stand guard of Golic. And because, they realize that Golic's telling the truth. They now know this alien is there. He at least unties Golic. Golic knocks him out. And they're trying to get the alien trapped in like this big area. And they're successful this time. It's 1 second, please. Sorry about that sneezing attack. Allergies are a bitch. They're trying to trap the alien. This is the scene where, the fire happens, everything blows up. Fire happens, everything blows up. Galek sneaks out and he kills the black guy that survived the original scene, which is brutal. And he didn't want to, but he's like obsessed with the alien, the dragon, as he calls it. Um, he kills the black guy, cuts his throat. Brutal scene. He apologizes right away. Opens up that little area that they got the alien captured in. Walks through, and it gets free, kills him right away, and that's it. I mean, it's a little cool added scene. There's a little bit more dialogue in there, but I really like that. Other differences that I noticed, the chase scene, at the end when they're basically a bait. They're trying to draw the alien into this one area so they can hit the piston, and it pushes it into the area with the lead. I had to, because I felt like it, I had to message Marty. It is shorter. And that is something I don't like. I don't like that it's shorter because I fucking love that chase scene in the theatrical version. Um, Not shortened by much, but it's noticeable. So wasn't a fan of that. I wish we still had that intact. But like I said, it's not by much, but it's noticeable enough. The other thing I noticed is I guess you'd say the fate of Ripley. When Bishop 2 shows up, Lance Henriksen, the dialogue is a little different. I mean, he's still shady as hell. We still don't trust the fucker. But it's different after 85 hits Bishop 2 with the pipe, and he's shot and taken out. And because Ripley believes he's an android. After he gets hit, he yells, "I'm not a fucking droid," and stuff like that. And you believe it. And then Ripley and him, they still have a conversation. She's still not trusting him. And she gives her that whole speech about, you can have a life, we'll take it out of you, blah, blah, blah. And it looks like she's considering it. And it's a great little exchange between the two of them, Henriksen and Sigourney Weaver. I love the way she looks when it looks like she's considering it. And it's not, when you think about it in hindsight, it's not as she's considering like taking him up on his offer. She's just thinking, this guy's full of shit. What's going to happen if I don't do this? So I really like that shot. She does her little reverse swan dive. And this is the biggest difference. I prefer the theatrical. In this, when she's falling, she falls, hands outstretched. It's the score is still beautiful. And then she just we see her evaporate in the molten lead, like the smoke and all the stuff behind her. This one, the alien doesn't pop out. I prefer seeing the alien burst out of her chest and she holds it down. I like that. She's holding it down as they disappear together. The effect's still kind of shitty on both versions. I hate how they just you know what I mean? But I prefer the theatrical just because I like the way she has to hold down that alien. The alien maybe gets out. And granted, if we're talking continuity, there was no plans to make a sequel, but now, since the alien ripped out of her, they have the blood that they can scoop up to make the 8 clones for resurrection. That's just a movie nerd coming out. So, and then the movie ends the same after that. So, lots of people, pretty much everyone I know, say this is either the version they prefer or they've literally said the word superior version. This is tough for me because I enjoy the theatrical version so much. And me and Marty and a couple other people we've talked to on X really enjoy Alien 3. But everyone prefers the theatrical. Or, excuse me, everyone prefers the assembly cut. I think they're honestly, maybe because of nostalgia, maybe I'll show a little bit of favoritism. I think I'm going to pick the theatrical. But it's neck and neck. They're at least equal, in my opinion. I love the new opening, finding Ripley on the beach. I love that scene where the company, Weyland Yutani, is saying, "Do not terminate it. Keep it. We'll be there soon," type of thing. The action scene, it's cool to see, but the way the alien looks and chitters when it goes away, I think the dog scene is more visceral. I like the little added conversations with Bishop 2 and Ripley. I do like we get more Dylan. The Gallic scene is cool, but shortening the chase scene, having the alien not rip out of Ripley, I'm going to slightly give it to the theatrical. And this is just after watching it once. So, one sec. Fucking allergies. Alright, I'm going to end this because I'm going to have another sneezing fit. But you get the point. I think I prefer, after one watch, Marty, after one watch, I think I'm still going to go with the theatrical. It might change over time. I'm definitely going to watch this a lot more because of that added stuff. But I think I'm giving it a fair assessment. So with that, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm going to hurry up and end this because, as you can tell, I have another sneeze coming. Like, subscribe, click the bell, comment below. Have you seen this version? Which do you prefer and why? Coming up, I will have it's coming in the mail. Ordered off eBay. I'm going to do is Alien Romulus. Is Alien Covenant worth the hate? Because I haven't seen that one. The Crow comes out, which today is Thursday. Crow comes out tomorrow. I'll probably have an out of the theater short, and then an actual video on that coming soon, and then other things sprinkled in from here to there, and then I'll get to the fucking Howling franchise kiss, because that's what you guys voted for, and that's what my daughter chose. Fuck. However, Alien 3 Assembly Cut, definitely worth a watch. Really good. Just sad Fincher just disowns it, doesn't want to talk about it, but I don't blame him. Cheers.